there's certain maxims in life that I subscribe to wholeheartedly, that I've subscribed to wholeheartedly my whole life. Has it gotten me in trouble in love? Yes. Has it gotten me in trouble at work? Yes. Has it gotten me in trouble with family? Definitely. But of all these things that we learn and that we pick up through life, and the different interpretations everything takes, right? Doesn't it suck when you know what you want to say, but it just won't? Blah, right? There's one thing, just one, that I keep coming back to over and over and over again. Symbolism, the process of awakening, the I don't know, maybe it's just me. Maybe it's just me. Like what human being has an existential crisis of death at 4 years old? Only me, right? So of course it would only be me that constantly thinks about this shit throughout my life, no matter the ups, the downs, the lefts, the rights. It always comes back to this. Deja vu. Knowing before things happen. Shit like that. Like, seriously, to me, at this point, given my life experiences, given everything I've researched, both on ancient history and the occult and every goddamn religion I can get my fucking hands on, it all comes back to this. We're already dead. And gods know how many repetitions this is on. It's the only thing that makes sense. It's the only thing that made sense to me when I was younger, and it's the only thing that still makes sense today. It's what every goddamn culture and the occult that follows it, no matter what culture it is, it's the only way to explain deja vu. It is the only goddamn way to explain deja vu to where it makes sense. Because it is said that when you die, you relive your life. But it doesn't say in those, 5 or 10 seconds after death that you still have brain activity. Who knows how many times you can relive a life inside those 5 or 10 seconds. It's the only fucking thing that makes sense at this point. The only thing. Because how else would you be able to know things before they happen? Like, things do not surprise you. It's almost like, I knew that was going to happen. And it's not just me. Like spirituality likes to individualize everything. You against the world, bullshit like that. But think about it. Everybody goes through. There's multiple times in everyone's lives, each and every one of you, that something has happened to you, and you just sat back and were like, I'm not surprised. It's almost like I knew that was going to happen. Deja vu is the only way to explain it. It's the only way to explain deja vu. About being able to have a flash before something happens, and then given whatever amount of time, because time is a human construct. Time does not really exist, just like gravity. And you have multiple religions out there over the eons, right? You have multiple religions out there, and they all, especially the occult side of every religion, it does not matter out there. It doesn't matter if it's Zoroastrianism. It doesn't matter if it's Hindu. It doesn't matter if it's fucking Christianity. They all lace it with the same thing. It's the only thing that fucking makes sense. And then the ancient teachings about being stuck in soul cycles and everything else. Buddha, Tao, whatever, what have you. There is no reason and any logical, physical, any kind of explanation that anyone should fear death. No, none. Because it's just going to restart all over again. Because, right, time is relative. Gravity is created by the force of the sun slingshotting everything around until it floats far enough past, right? And then we're outside the green zone. We're going to stop existing. Time is a human concept. It's a human construction. There's no saying how many times you can relive your life mentally in the span of 1 second. Sitting alone really gives you a lot of time to think about everything. It also makes sense that that's the reason, if you believe in the whole past life thing, that's why you never really remember. Because it's almost like mentally, as you're dying, your brain's hitting reset every time you experience that over and over and over again until brain death, and then boom. It also adds to various teachings out there telling you everything is predetermined. I mean, I have essentially said that myself to all of you as well. Spirituality likes to frame it in cycles, but it's only ever one continuous cycle, right? We like to internalize things. We like to make things about us, but it's not. Everything that's happening to you right now was always meant to happen. You gotta think about that. The things that we're going through right now were set into motion billions upon billions of years ago. Everything is, and I've said this time and time again over the last 2 years, everything is cause and effect. Everything. That's not a choice you're making. That's a determination that was meant for you to do before you even had a thought in your head, because of all the other things that happened before you came along. Just like you, me, everybody, we are the sum total of everything that's happened to us in our lives. And those people, positive or negatively, that have affected us are the sum total of what happened to them. Everything has always been meant to happen this exact way. Again, which kind of goes back to the idea that life is going to happen to you whether you participate in it or not. Now, the only question I have, the only possible question I could have for damn near all of this, if I'm right, can we change the experience? Because if this is right, then technically you, me, we're already dead, right? We're just reliving this over. You like that? Do you hear that? She's dreaming right now. I get her to sleep, and then she's like. But the only question I have, and that's another thing, like probably why we're not ever able to remember, right? Every single time we go out, just to be reborn again into the same world. Do we have the ability to change our experiences from one reliving to another? Maybe that's why we're never allowed to remember each time we've gone through this cycle as our brain dies, right? I mean, it's always been a weird question that I've had about this. Like, if we are really already dead, and mentally each and every one of us is just reliving this over and over and over again, right? Because our lives are from our own point of view, right? Like, I wouldn't know what I looked like unless I pointed the camera at myself, unless I looked in the mirror. It's just sitting here thinking about it. It's like, you're watching me right now. Have you ever thought about that? Have you ever taken the time to actually wonder, does that mean we stop trying? I don't think so. It's not meant for us to stop. Like I said, everything was set into motion, into place billions of years ago, to where everything that we are experiencing now is not. It was already predetermined. The universe made it that way. I bring up uncomfortable subjects sometimes, you know that. I really do. But I mean, it really, like, think what you want about me, but I at least want to make you think. Right? In this day and age, to where history is literally being rewritten right before our eyes. We're living in an actual fucking conspiracy right now. I don't know. And then other things that feed into it, it's the spirituality likes to call it the power of manifestation. Shit like that. What if there's something to it? Like, if we were actually already dead, there would be something to that. Everything already has a flow to it anyways, like an invisible force pulling us forward in a certain direction. Just very weird. I don't know. Hmm. I mean, that 5 to 10 seconds before death, when you're reliving your life, I don't know how many times, right? It makes sense why it's called limbo. Why they would call it a life review. I don't know. I just can't shake that that might actually be what's really going on. But then it just still brings me back to the question, like, how many times have I done this before my brain actually dies if I'm going through death right now? How many times have I relived my life already? To the point where deja vu is constantly everywhere. It's very interesting. I don't know. Make you think, though.